I've been wanting to make this video for a long time, and I'd like to talk to you all today about the biggest impact or the biggest change that I've made in my life in the last 4 to 5 years that has paid back the most rewards for me. I've been journaling for the last probably 5 years continuously. It's not something I used to do before, but I do keep meticulous notes today, handwritten paper notes. I feel that there's probably 5 key areas of journaling that there are benefits to. I'm going to talk through those 5 areas, as well as at the end, I do have a recommendation for if you're getting started, what journaling I use, what type of paper I use, what's my favorite, but also the best beginner journals I've stumbled across. I actually have one new favorite that I just came across a couple of months ago, and if you just want to try it out to see if it's for you, this is the journal. How's it going, folks? My name's Marcus. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here on this channel, I talk about technology, EDC, and anything that can help me live a happier, more balanced, productive life. Lately, I've been doing a lot of EDC videos on this channel because it seems to be the type of thing that works better on YouTube for me. But over the coming weeks and months, I want to insert a couple of these videos that helps talk about my process around journaling, around writing, how I process my thoughts, and how I plan for the future. I'm a VP at a very large tech company. I currently manage 250 people, and in that role, I've learned a lot of things that I'd like to be able to share on this channel about achieving balance, around helping you maintain and manage your stress, and ultimately be the person that you want to be in future. Journaling for me means being able to set lofty goals for myself and change myself in ways that I feel I want to improve myself. It helps me process my own thoughts and emotions by writing morning words and letting my consciousness flow out to paper. It helps me capture all my ideas, not putting them in my phone, but putting them in a journal and realizing that my thoughts and my ideas are actually good enough to capture on a small piece of paper. When I go back through them over time, or as I see ideas develop over a period of time, it's very valuable to me. It helps keep me centered. It's a type of mindful meditation. I've never been very successful. I've done it for years, never been very successful at achieving Zen in terms of meditating, but I do feel that this journaling gets me close to it. And finally, it's a really good way just to process your thoughts, keep yourself accountable, and over time it's fun to go back through your thoughts, see how you've grown as a person, see the challenges you faced at different points in your life, and another way to feel grateful for the lucky things and the wonderful things that are happening in your life. So broadly speaking, there's 5 key areas that journaling fall under. I'm one of those people who's tried everything. I've done bullet journaling, morning pages from the artist's way, just keeping a diary every single day of the things that have happened, keeping gratitude journals. All of those things I've tried over time, and I feel like they're bucketed into about 5 key things. So here they are. The first one is the reflective journal. This is where you actively sit down, maybe at the end of each day, and write out your thoughts and emotions and try and process the things that have happened. With reflective journaling, some of the things that have helped me in the past are not only writing out my thoughts and feelings and emotions about the things that have happened that day, but also keeping a score of some of the key things that I'm tracking, like how was my mood? Was I feeling depressed? Was I feeling happy? Was it a good day? How was my eating that day? Did I take care of myself? Was I healthy? Did I work out? So adding some of those tracking metrics, 3 or 4 things into a reflective journal, can be really helpful to help you process your thoughts and emotions throughout that day. The second broad category is idea and creativity journaling. So similar to reflective journaling, some of the ways people do this is just by writing out reams of thoughts. This is one of the things that I refer to as morning pages, which came about through the artist's way. And it's a way that what you're supposed to do is wake up in the morning and write 3 pages of just nondescript thoughts. You really don't think about it. You sit there, you pull out a cup of coffee, and you sit for 15-20 minutes and write anything that comes into your mind. It could be gibberish, it could be the words of a song, it could be you processing your dreams, your thoughts, your emotions. I've done this for several years. I've woken up in the morning and spent 15 minutes doing my morning pages before I start work. And I found over time that I got better at understanding key themes that kept coming up. Sometimes I would process something that had happened 20 years ago in my childhood. Different things like that come up in morning pages, and I did find over time that it was a way for me to do mindful meditation and process some of those emotions. The key part of creative or idea journaling is that you get your thoughts on paper. Another aspect of creative or idea journaling is about keeping a small journal with you as you go everywhere, jotting down all your ideas as you go along, a little bit like Leonardo da Vinci, or, not all your ideas are great ideas. I think my imposter syndrome when I first started doing this and having a pocket journal in my pocket all the time was, my ideas aren't that good. Do I really need to jot them down? At the start, it was like, don't forget to do your laundry. It was task lists. It was, pick the kids up from school, or something that I would need to do at work that I would just jot in there. Things that I felt like I could put into my phone. But over time, if you keep a journal with you in your pocket and you do force yourself that as you have a thought or if you want to process something, that you put it in there and just spend a minute or two just thinking about or writing down your thoughts, you'll get much more benefit out of idea journals or these creative journals as well. So very broad category, but another reason why people might journal. I just want to take a quick pause from the video to ask you to like and subscribe to this video if you're enjoying this content. I've got a very small channel and you liking this helps the algorithm find me. Okay, back to the content. The third one is gratitude journaling, and it's super easy. What you do is you sit down at the end of the day and you think of 3-5 things that you might be grateful for that day. It could be anything. On a bad day, it might be something as small as I'm grateful that the weather was good or that I didn't lose my job, or sometimes it's really hard to think of those things. But even on the worst, even on the really bad days, I've found that I've been able to be grateful for things that have happened. Like for example, when I had kids in hospital or kids that got hurt, I was grateful that they were okay and I was able to put that in my gratitude journal. What it does is at the end of the week, you're able to go through that gratitude journal and really experience and kind of feel a sense of wellness, a sense of happiness about the things that have happened in the week. What I like to do as well is at the end of each week is to go back in time and write 2 or 3 things I'm grateful for broadly within my life. Things like, I'm grateful to have been born Irish. I think that was a great country to grow up in. I had a very good experience there. And you know, or some of the friendships I have, my lifelong friendships. Sometimes it's new friendships. But just having a gratitude journal is one of those things that helps keep me grounded and keep me grateful for the good things and the privileges that I have in my life. The next bucket for journaling is goal setting / achievement journaling. Now this is much more of a kind of a planning journaling than it is about retrospective. So this is where it shifts from being a retrospective, gratitude, trying to deal with your emotions, just getting your thoughts on paper in the morning, to being much more proactive about the things that you want to do in future and the things that you want to change within your life. Now in the industry that I work in, I'm a vice president of product at a large tech company, and for me it's very important to be able to do this strategic planning into the future. So there's a lot of frameworks that are in place within the tech industry that I can use and bring forward. One of those is called OKRs, creating objectives and key results, and this is a standard practice in the tech industry. But I bring that into my personal life as well. So at any one time, there's usually 2 or 3 things that I'm working on in my personal life that I've set myself a 12-week goal for, whether that's getting fitter, managing my finances differently, spending more time with my kids. I won't just put it there as an objective, spend more time with my kids. I'll actually break that down, the objective being spend more time with my kids, with the key results being actionable items that I can do during that time and I can track over a 12-week period to see am I fulfilling that goal or not. Measurable, planned key results that I want to have from spending time with my kids in this example. So I'm a huge fan of having 12-week goals, quarterly goals or annual big lofty goals for big things you want to change about your life. I think having them in paper, reviewing them every day, putting down your action items each day of the things you're going to do towards those key results are the things that drive you forward and help get you that 1% success, that incremental 1% compounding interest each day to make you exponentially better by the time the end of the year comes. And then the last one is daily planners and task lists. So when we talk about daily planners and task lists, these are things that are much more tactical than the quarterly or annual planning for your kind of life-changing goals that you want. These are much more along the lines of creating little bullet points on these small pieces of paper, which I have all over the place. I create these little task lists all day long. It's a big part of my working life. And creating those task lists, writing things down on paper is incredibly important to me. 1, to take the idea out of my head and make sure I remember it, and 2, to set my day. It is important to me at the start of each day to plan what are the 2 or 3 key things I'm going to get done as task lists for that day, even within the meetings that I'm going to be having. And just having them on a piece of paper in front of me all day helps center me and focus me on the day ahead of me. So broadly speaking, those are the 5 key areas of journaling and the things that I do every day that really help me. So taking a broad view, what does that really mean? Well, I wake up in the morning and I do morning pages. I usually write about a page of my thoughts without really going through much structure to it, just things I want to write down on paper. The second thing I'll do is I'll look at my quarterly goals that I'm currently working on and figure out what my tasks are that week or that day. Either on a Sunday, I'll create my tasks for the entire week, and on each day during that week, I'll look at the key tasks that I'm trying to do and try and assign them to each day to try and fit one thing in that I want to achieve to make me a better person. Those will go down on my task cards. Once I've got my task card, I'll write it down on my task card, and I know that I'll do that task during the day. If I don't, it rolls forward to the next day. It's as simple as that. In the evening time before bed, I'll take my journal out and I'll write my gratitude statements. it doesn't take a long time. The big thing for me was I found it much easier in the morning to write morning pages and to kind of plan my day ahead if I put those 15 minutes, 20 minutes into planning my day and creating my thoughts. In the evening, it's much easier to do the gratitude journaling. I'll be in bed, it'll be the last thing I remember to do. I'll be like, oh shoot, brushed my teeth, I gotta do my gratitude. I'll get my gratitude journal out, write in the 5 key things I'm grateful for that day, and help center me as I go to bed, thinking about the things that went well in the day as I go to sleep. But that's a lot of work. And as a result, I've got a lot of journals, a lot of time. I put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into creating these journals. Just as a heads up, as a shout out, these Tomio River journals are by far my favorite. They're 52 gram per meter squared paper, super thin, really great for writing on with a fountain pen, and I've loved them. Now they're kind of expensive as far as these pads go. This is a 96 page pad and it's about $18 or $20 on Amazon these days. They come from Japan, they're super exclusive. When they've actually changed them recently, the paper's got a little thicker, and before they did that, I invested for the next 12 to 15, 18 months worth of journals here so that I won't run out of this paper because it is my very favorite and I just love writing on this stuff. But if you're just starting out and you're looking for something to get you started, there are 2 key things here. In terms of gratitude, this is a gratitude journal that I got recently. The thing I like about this, links to all of these things will be in the description below. The thing I really like about this is it explains how you do it. There's a couple of pages right at the start that say to you kind of how does gratitude journaling work, gives you some examples of what they are. So if you're stumped to get started and you don't really know what your first couple of weeks are going to be, it helps you get started, helps you do the end of your week. A good way to start gratitude journaling. Once you've done one journal of this, you'll know how to do it on whatever your favorite paper is after that. The second thing though, and I strongly recommend this to anyone, even if you're a seasoned pro at journaling, this Phoenix journal is a game changer. So as I said, I use OKRs, objectives and key results in my own life for trying to track changes, trying to change things about myself or change the world around me. This Phoenix journal teaches you how to do it. So the first, I would say, they don't call it OKRs, but it's basically got several pages on how to use this journal and the importance of it. It talks about setting your goals for a year and has an annual calendar. It has a 12-week calendar so that you can break it down into 12-week goals. And then it has ways for you to track in, set the things you're going to do each week and track against those things each week to keep you accountable. So it allows you to pick 4 goals at any one time, and I really, really love it. It's basically the system I've stumbled across over years of journaling, all condensed down into one book. So if you're looking for something for about $25 to get you started down this road, this is absolutely the best start for you. I can't recommend it enough. So what are some of the things that you do? What are the things I missed in journaling? How might I improve my own process? Or what are the fun things you add in terms of you use lots of color or you use lots of stickies or you share it with people? Share them in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you do and how I might be able to improve my own process. Good luck.